Wow. It's bright in here. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. One thing, I have to get the studio lights on. There we go. Bang. And it all comes together. God bless each and every one of you for hanging out. Let's break down BTC and see what's happening here for Bitcoin. God bless you all. I'm excited to have you sitting with me today, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. 113,100 for Bitcoin. And I know I said God bless 3 times, but just something I was going to do this morning 3 times in a row. God bless everybody here. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's keep it moving. 15-minute time frame playing games with us. First they pumped it, then they dumped it, then they pumped it again. What is going on? They refuse to let flags play out. They refuse to let simple things go, except last night. Here's a beautiful flag that touched the 21 at the 200. There was the positional strength to the upside. Boom. That was the trade right there. I love that. When the 21's coming for the 200 moving average, I will teach you this day in and day out, over and over and over again, about the 200 and how it plays with the moving averages. It's unbelievable. When you get above the 200, you'll get a huge move. Price loves these moving averages. When the 21 crosses the 200, I'm going to show you this through multiple assets around the world. I'm going to teach you how this can make you gains over and over and over again if you pay attention. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about, is this beautiful move here on the 15-minute that did present itself. Then we started coming back to the 21. We were doing a similar thing. We made a flag. It looked nice. They stop hunted, came back up, right, and decided to put the price right back in. It's been in a vicious trading cycle, constant. Like, you got to be on it. You got to be on it all the time. But we did look for this bottom here with the divergence. They did stop me out last night on the wick of, look, they rated the double bottom as we do see. Okay, right here. Boom. What I did is I threw a safety order hit on KKEX when this ripped up. It paid for my loss. When I got kicked off, I showed my loss and my win. We're balanced each other off. I made no money. It was a $500 loss with a $500 win. And then I got back into this flag. I was up. Once I was a little below break even, I didn't like it. I put a stop really close. They clipped me. And now I'm kind of watching price action right now, and I'm not inside of a trade. I want to see what's happening. I don't feel comfortable right now at the present moment. Even though it's a Tuesday, we should be awesome. It's sketchy. And so I just, my system is telling me I got to pull back. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. Let's break it down all the way from the weekly like I do every single day. I haven't done one yet in the trading group this morning because it was basically very similar to what I saw last night. So I didn't want to go too crazy. So let's break it down. Let's see what I see here on the weekly. Let me delete everything and show you what's going down. All right. Deep breaths. I took an energy shot, so it might get me a little crazy. You know what I mean? Over here. I don't drink coffee, but sometimes I'll take one of these like energy shots here. It has, I'll have to show you what's in there. You know what I mean? You guys can figure that out. God bless. Okay, so let's take a look. 113,166, bouncing off the 21-day moving average. I mean, that's, we'll go over the bearish and the bullish signs. What's the bearish signs? The bearish sign is this looks like a head and shoulder to me, right? The great thing about that is a bunch of people will, right now, get into a short with stop losses here. What they're going to do, here's where your stops are going to be. They're going to put lines here and put a stop here. They're going to put lines here and put a stop, and they're going to use these 2 wicks and put a stop. So you're going to get liquidity. Brah. So when we get the push to the upside, we can clearly take out all this, very similar to how the 1 hour, and that's kind of a double top. It's kind of like rating that, you know what I mean? So that's one thing on the radar. So there's, to me, bouncing off the 21-day moving average is a bullish sign, and we have oversold stochastics RSI too as well. Both of those are bullish signs. Both of those are telling me that we're likely to have more of a punch. All right, that's just, so I'm not saying we're pumping for sure. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. But right now, that's a good sign, Had you closed the candle below the 21, you'd have to think you're coming down to the 50, right? Which is also the daily 200, and we can get into all that. So, but at the same time, that looks like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that wants to dump. So what I would have to see, personally, for me to believe anything, is like you got to close a weekly candle above where these 3 candles just can't seem to get back above, right? And above this. I mean, both areas, 114,000 And 115,000, it's really 115.5. You know, it's a psychological level. So for me, like, you got to clear 115.5 and never go back over it again. Like, that has to be it. So we had to come back down and test 112.5 and make sure it was strong. I get, you know, even down to 110. What was the low of this? This is crazy, right? The low of the week was 111,042 cents. Wow. So, like, we almost hit 110K. You know, and that's actually pretty dang good price for Bitcoin when you were just, you know, 5-6 weeks ago at 124,000. So, but again, so I got to look at the monthly and break down what I see on the monthly. Remember, we had never seen a, you know, I showed you on the Dow Jones, and I just want to reiterate this because anyone who's watching, it looks like we're going to start pumping now. These guys are making it so, like, for my strategy, they're going, it's like, it's crazy. Like, look at this. That's a stop hunt. And they're almost making me just be like, all right, just do what you want. You know what I mean? Do what you want. Like, I'm done with you guys. It gets annoying sometimes. Previous resistance support, though, that's a beautiful SR flip. You know, when I see stuff like this, I just zoom out sometimes. I don't even trade patterns. What I do is I go, okay, I'll get in here. I'll put a stop below the 200 moving average, and I'll just wait all day to see what they do. You know what I mean? If they come down and get me, they get me. If they pump it, they pump it. The odds are better that I'll win the trade, right? If I did it here, right, when we got above the 200, I would have won that one. If I did it there, I would have won that one. These ones would have been sketchy, the two before it, right? I might have, it would have been in the green, but then we'll see, you know. This one would have been a huge win. I don't know if I could have hung on the whole way, but maybe even got back in. I would have traded that flag for sure, 21 above the 200. See, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, one of these wins will pay for 5 losses because it's such a big gain, you know? Anyway, so, and you have to know this stuff by doing it over and over again. Trading only works for people that do it consistently. You see what I'm saying? You can't dabble with a strategy. You can't think, oh, I'm going to do that once a month and just, you know, unless you have a strategy on a bigger time frame that only comes out once a month. That's different. So, like, you know what I mean? And again, every case is different, so I can't, you know, broadly say a statement that covers every single part of trading. You know what I mean? Like if I say, oh, you know, once, because some people might trade once a month, but it has to fit their trading style. Like there's got to be some type of model to that. So anyway, lack of bearish momentum on that 15-minute. You know, you're looking, you know, you're staying above the 200. You got the golden cross. To me, this spells like you're going to get some type of move to the upside eventually. Right? What you don't want to see is some type of rolling head and shoulder here and we roll over. The good thing is we got above the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. We talked about that this weekend. I said, if, you know, this is what I was looking for. I said, if we get above the 15, we make the flag and the 21 touches, then I'm going to go for it. See? But we rolled over. We could not get back above it. When you're right here, I mean, you can see where, and then you'll get a head and shoulder on a smaller time frame, a bear flag, sideways price action, roll over, another bear flag, right? Then we got divergence, and then the divergence was just too strong, right? And then we got the rounded bottom, and we may be getting our move back to the upside. And this is how we find bottoms. We stalk them. You just look at, eventually you're going to see. Now, what was really sketchy was what they did last night, or whatever, you could say whatever price action did, they did, whoever. But shoulder, bit of a head right, shoulder right. Got a lot of people to probably jump on a short. And once they started that, people probably jumped in late, you know. I had to basically mitigate a trade that got taken out and jump back in to get the pump. And I sold basically 112,956. So, and that's the last time. So we'll see. And then I just got out of a scalp trade on the 15-minute that looked beautiful as we started to get the pump, but I saw weakness in the trade. So this is kind of where we stand, right? I'm kind of watching to see what we do here on the 15-minute time frame. I know we're bullish when we're above the 200. We have a golden cross, and the 21 is touching price action. And how do I know that? Well, let's have some fun. When I'm done with my monthly, you know, my back test, I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm going to pick 3 assets. I'm going to ask you guys to pick the asset, actually. So let me go back in time here to my content so I can send the link out. And God bless everyone watching the new content. We got a lot of, recorded content coming at you, and I appreciate everyone jumping on in. ASTER continuing to pump to the upside. Shout out to anyone that jumped into ASTER or learned about ASTER through me or found out about it. People told us about the Apex here on the channel a week before the big before it all happened. They said, "Hey Sam, Apex, you got to check it out. The ASTER, There's smart people on this channel. Scan this comment section. This comment section has made me so much money in my life. And again, I'm being pompous, but by me coming every single day, the channel itself holds value. It's not even me. So if you pay attention, scan the charts. Also, look, I put a timestamp. I timestamp everything we talk about. So if you go and look at the timestamps, you'll see it. You see what I'm saying? Like under every video, there's a list of coins. I don't think people realize this, and I don't talk about it enough. But there's a list of coins underneath every single one of my videos. And you can go and click anything you want and go over whatever we talked about. Also, if you forgot something, if you're making your own list, just go, like right now, go through my last week of videos. And you're going to see every single coin that's probably ever done anything on the market. Honestly, those lists will probably teach you what's coming. We talked about ASTER. You can see things before they happen there. All right. Can you filter the comments in YouTube short videos on normal? No, I know. Isn't that crazy? It's so weird, right? Yeah. The ADA video. Thank you, Sam. Shout out to Servando Estrada. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So, again, we're going to tackle this. This looks like Bitcoin's going to pump. I'm being honest. Like, whenever you're above the 200 and the 21 touches, what we could say is it was basically left a pattern and it just got back inside. And now it's going to trade exactly like it was in the pattern again. Again, right? So I may attack this again. The only reason is it's such a beautiful pattern, signal, that when I don't take it, I regret it because I see it go off. So whenever they shake me from it, once I started trading it, I'm like, you can't shake me from my pattern. You know what I mean? From my system. I love to lose my system. My system is like fighting for your rights. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to die for it, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, if you have, that's the American way. And that's why America is different than any other country in the world. Like, do not take our free speech away. Do not take our First and Second Amendment rights away. You can't take them away. They're ours. They were given to us by our forefathers for a reason. They looked at it throughout the world and they said, no, not here. Not here. No way, no how. You know what I'm saying? So 700 for 2,600. That would be pretty advantageous. I don't like price action right now. It's not like robust. I'm not like, yeah. As I told you, it usually takes a week to iron out after a massive liquidation. There was two massive liquidations too. There was liquidations during the Fed event, and there was liquidations on Sunday night, right? I think 122 billion or something, 170 billion. It was a huge liquidation. I think it might have been one of the biggest. So people got absolutely rocked and wrecked. So liquidation there is 110.656. Okay, and then you hit advance too. And you want to see, this is KKX. 350 for 1,000. I like that trade. I'm going to take that trade. All right. It's a Tuesday. It's one of my favorite days. Wednesday, right? My favorite day to trade, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, between 10 and 12. We've battled 113,000 multiple times. My trading style that I've backtested over years and years and years said, if you got a pattern, trade it. If they leave the pattern and put it back in, trade the pattern as if they never left the pattern before. And so I'm acting as if I've never seen this. And I've backtested this theory, and I've done it over and over again. So I act like this never happened here, right? So that's, you know what I mean? I guess you can scribble like, but I just act like this never happened. Exit out and act like we've been in the pattern the whole time. We're about to break out. All right, so I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. Let's see what happens here on a break-even day for Sammy. And it's been a tougher trading week for me. The last week was beautiful. The last 3 weeks were beautiful. I couldn't miss. This week it's been tough. You know what I mean? I got hit off twice there and there. 2 losses in a row. I was able to get this one back with the break-even on KKX, and maybe this one will. If this trade booms, it'll make an amazing day. So we'll see what happens. I always believe that good things are coming to me and that opportunities are coming to you and me. If you believe opportunity is coming your way, then it is. Like, opportunity is just around the corner for me every single time. I know it. I just got to keep pushing. I got to stay positive. I got to wake up with a good attitude, and I got to keep it moving. If I can do those three things over and over and over again, somehow, some way, I'm going to win. I don't know how. I don't know really every single angle of how it's going to go, but I know it's going to go. You know what I mean? And believe in yourself, trust in yourself, trust that everything is conspiring for you to win. The right people are coming into your life at the right time. The right YouTube channel you've hit the right link at the right time. You're listening to the right person at the right time. Okay? If you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Rings a bell, right? There you go. So here we go. We made the live trade here, gave you the entry. I gave you my stop loss. I showed you where I'm going. If I'm up 400 or 500 quickly, if they pump this thing really fast away from the 21, I'm going to be taking profits. I already know exactly what I'm going to be doing here if we get the pump to the upside. Let's take a look at the loving, beautiful, sweet BOOKMAP and see what she has to say today. You know, BOOKMAP has liquidity on either side. Says we can go to 112.5 or back up to 114,000. It's one of them days. It's a little more uppity there to 114K, right? It could go either way, but 114,000 is pretty dark yellow there. Suggests we could get a move to the upside. So anything could happen. It's open board, but it says we definitely can get the move. I'll tell you what, I've back tested trading above the 200 when the 21 is near price action, and it has played out for me way more than it hasn't. So, and honestly, look at this. I just saw this for the first time. I love when I see things, but look, that's an Adam and a bit of an Eve, no? And then this is an Adam and Eve here too, but it's just a backwards one. That one played out, hit the measured move. Crazy, right? You see it. I'm not making this stuff up. You can see it. And then this one shall make the measured move to 114,800 to the upside. And we're up 69. I told you I'm the king of 3%. It doesn't matter the exchange. I get 3% no matter what, baby. Let's do this. Let's do this. Hey, don't laugh at my 3%. I'm proud of it. I know what I'm doing over here. Hey, I love the way we meet every single day. Shout out to all my beautiful people here. I love you more than you would ever know. I love this life. I'm so grateful for every single thing that we do here together. Bitcoin, which is a pump to the upside. Wait, what's happening here? We're behind on... Looks like we're higher on another exchange, right? No, 172. Okay. Why am I seeing 213? What is that? On the USD, where? So I guess spot is ahead of futures, which happens sometimes. So they're telling me that US Tether spot is ahead of futures. A bit odd. A bit old, if you ask me. And Aster taking a tumble back to 220 after that big rippage too. And I'm going to show you a coin that we put out last night that pumped up 28%. Had you been in the trading group, I'm going to teach you what that's all about. So yeah, can't you see? I see a bit of an Adam and Eve here. It's hard to see, but it's in there. Right? And you can kind of see this Adam and Eve. And again, Adam and Eve is this, okay? But I have seen it like this many times. Way less though. But I've seen this where and again, what is an Adam and Eve? Well, I figured this is a point. So it's kind of like an obelisk, right? Which would be a phallic symbol. If you can look all that up if you want phallic symbol. But that would mean the Adam, right? The Eve is a womb, right? Where the baby can hang out, right? So Adam and Eve. I made this up myself. I never really asked looked it up or asked anyone to have a conversation, but it makes sense. Okay. So kind of that's where we stand. Golden cross, tight moving averages. There's about an 80% chance this consolidates and we break out. It may take 1-2 hours, right? 4, 5, maybe even 3 before we get a bigger breakout. It could take some time. We could also get a bit of an M here and dump. Right? There's no guarantees of what could be happening. All right. Bit of bearish div there too, So we'll see what happens. I'm just looking for consolidation. I love it when we go sideways. That's all I need Bitcoin to do is go sideways above the 200 for the next 2 hours. That will raise the probability that this model will play out. And so we just kind of sit and wait. So here's 2 things that can happen. I'm bullish if we break down and bounce off the bottom of the trend line at 112,894. We actually should do that. We should come down here and consolidate tightly. This would make a lot of sense. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking for here for Bitcoin. Hey, Lifer, I just started putting a bunch of effect into my crypto channel. Any tips? I mean, just do follow your heart and just keep pushing. And when you know you could work harder, work harder. There's this, here's my last thing. Someone just asked, a great question. He said, hey, Lifer, I started putting a bunch of effect into my channel. Any tips? That's like life. So, and this is life advice. Again, I'm not, nothing, no financial advice. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But I will, some life guidance, I should say. So he asked a great question. And I would say this. I would say somehow, some way, the essence of this space in which we live in, even the actual setting, right? And whether it's God and God for me is part of it all, right? The creator of it all. But we also have the setting. So we have God and we have the place God created. Both of those things emanate an energy to help you, right? Because God created the space for you to grow, So my whole thing is this: just put your heart and soul into everything you do on that channel, and it will grow, and it'll be prosperous, And like there's going to be a day where you could sit home and make a video, but someone's going to ask you if you want to come out and hang at the barbecue. And you're going to hang at the barbecue instead of making a video. That's one day you didn't feed the channel. You have to remember, I used to hang out. People asked me to go places. Hey, come to the concert. Come here. And yeah. And one day I just decided it was my channel and not everybody else. And I started saying no. And the biggest, what I just said is huge. The biggest way to become successful is to learn how to say no. Yeah, and I've listened to, multi-millionaires and billionaires have said this exact statement. I'm regurgitating here. You have to, and even Jim Rohn has told me, learn to say no. He had a whole entire episode, learn how to say no. All right. So, once you learn how to say no, you'll say yes to the right things, and you'll learn that your time is so valuable. Learning to say no means you actually understand how valuable your time is. So if you're attempting to learn technical analysis, or you want to become more profitable, but you keep hanging out, like whenever there's time for you to focus, and then at the end of the month, you didn't make any money again, and you say, oh, it's Sam's fault. I don't get enough, it's the way they teach me. No one tells me anything. I ask questions in the group. People make excuses and all this stuff, right? And I'm not saying people say that. I'm just going over ideas and hypotheticals. But the idea is this, is you have to now challenge yourself to put learning first. If you put learning first, usually money will follow over time. Money follows knowledge. If you chase knowledge, you're going to make it. And that goes with your channel too as well. Chase, what are you teaching people? What value do you want to bring to the channel? You have to ask yourself, you have to bring value. There has to be some type of value to your channel. You have to ask yourself, what is the essence of what I'm going to do? And then you work from that. All right, so 114,000 would be beautiful. And so we're looking for it. We're looking for this move. And could we go higher? It would be awesome. This is the bar of liquidity we would love to get back to is 115,006. Thank you for your work. Thoughts on Linnea? New layer 2. We love Linnea. And we've had a setup on it in the group for a while here. And I've known about Linnea for a while now, a long time. A good long time, right? All right, so here we are. I got to get back into the bigger picture here for BTC. I'm going to use the all-time history index for this one. It just makes it a little simpler. So, as you know, we go back to the monthly, and we've been looking at the monthly every day, really. And as long as the monthly stays in this trajectory, I'm okay with it. As I showed you the Dow Jones, the one time the Dow actually got out of this, and it had a bearish engulfing candle, and the Dow was able to pivot its way out. Okay? So, we're still inside the live trade, just to make it clear, too. Up 3.8%, $66. And we're going for the gusto here at 114,900. All right? That would be the target for this trade. I'll hold it all day and check it in a few hours, and just let it do its thing. Google admits that the administration prior to us pressured censorship. It's crazy. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy, right? And they're inviting channels that were taken off to come back. So crazy. And they pledged to end reliance on third-party fact checkers and introduce community notes for greater transparency and content moderation. Amazing. Amazing. Hopefully the tides will turn. You know what I mean? So far, so good. And I'm so grateful for the algorithm and blessings on blessings. You know what I mean? I somehow was lucky enough to keep it moving the whole time. Bitcoin getting the breakout to the upside here just as I spoke. A little bit of a pumpage. Nothing too crazy. Wow. All right. So the monthly looks good. Where do I get the measured move? I take the wick to wick here. We put it right there on the rising wedge. It gives us 184K, 183.5, right? Could you be a little, I mean, and you could pull this whole thing and say, do we get the whole leg? We could. At the end of the day, right? And that takes you all the way to about, I don't know, $215,000. So I just see 190 to 210, 220, maybe somewhere, you know what I mean? And I can't place it, but it's looking like we'll get it, you know, if we're lucky enough, you know, and I like to keep it more conservative because Bitcoin, you know what I mean? That first leg makes a lot more sense to me. And we get a pump up to like, I keep getting 184K. I get 184K over and over again every time I do this. So it looks likely to me. And then I pull the parabola and I can see that we're still inside of a healthy move here to the upside. And everything looks good to me. You know, we break this parabola, we start to break down that, you know, and again, I'm open-minded. What if we get a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder? We roll over here. That would be crazy, right? And we don't dump until like March of 26. And then that's when we start to actually start the, you know, this was a top. I mean, we're away for the 21 on the monthly. And we have bearish divergence. I got to be honest. Like if it was a top, it would look very similar to this. And it would drag people in and make them think we were going higher. Right? Nice pump for Bitcoin. But it's crazy. I'm using the all-time history index, which combines multiple charts. It always kind of put things a little higher than they actually are. So, because it takes multiple charts, you know. But that looks good to me. I like what I'm seeing there. We take a look at the weekly. And just so you know, if you're just jumping into the channel, I do a top-down analysis. My name's Sam Price. I've been trading for over 20 years. You know, looking at charts. One of my first trades, just looking at, you know, Apple stock and stuff like that. Then I started getting into technical analysis a little over 10 years ago. And then just kept it moving over and over again and refined the craft till I do it every single day now for 1,700 and some odd days here on the channel without a day off. Yeah, blessings on blessings. So the same thing with the weekly, and you can kind of see how I derive from this idea, how I figured this all out, where we could be going. It's simple stuff. That even says 188, 189. Right? Now, what stresses me and, you know, what looks somewhat bearish is this shoulder head, and that's a bit of a right shoulder. Doesn't have to be big. I mean, it's a right shoulder. It's enough for me to be a right shoulder. So that has a 68% chance of breaking down. You also have tweezer tops. It's a lower high. You know, it's bearish to me. Like, that doesn't look amazing. 92,900 would be the target. If you pulled the Fibonacci, that would be the exact golden pocket, which is insane, right? I mean, look at that. Coincidence? I don't think so. We would likely break down, bearish retest, and then come back down again, right? But so this is a possibility. Does that mean the rally continues to? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm open-minded to look at it day by day and just take it one step at a time. But I got to be honest, that doesn't look amazing to me. You know, the only thing I would like about it was, like I said, it would induce multiple shorts, and which would create a massive short squeeze to the upside. Now, I have indicate, nice pump to the upside there for Bitcoin. And that puts us up in some nice gains there with a big pump. And that's what we were looking for initially this morning. But what they did is they stop hunted. But if you use my 200 moving average as protection on the 15 and you weren't so greedy and you didn't trade the smaller time frames, you're in the gains now. See how this works? I make money by not being greedy. If I was so greedy trying to make $1,000 in 5 seconds off the 1 minute time frame, like, Sam, you do that all the time. I do when the mode is right. Okay? But right now, the 15-minute had a better angle for me. It had a lower risk entry. And there you go. And we're trading here live on KKEX. You can hit the link to KKEX right here at the top of this. All right? That is your pinned comment there. And you could sign up to KKEX if you would like. It's there for your pledge. Good. It's a great backup exchange, in my humble opinion, to have. I think it's awesome. I've been using it. Fees super low. Very low withdrawal. I think at almost zero withdrawal fees, too. And deposits. Very fair. They're attempting to break into the game by, and so use that competition. I mean, there's a lot of competition now, so there's a lot of awesome incentives being given. Take advantage of them while they're around. So here we go. This is a beautiful pump here for Bitcoin to the upside. And you saw the live entry after the dip. Oh no, I was in on the dip, but I didn't get hit off. Yeah. But there you go. And I didn't get scared and I didn't get emotional. Let's see if we can get the pump. This looks good to me. And so live call here on the channel. And again, I'm not trying to say it's amazing. This might come right back down. Let's take it one step at a time. And don't call me a genius when I win. Don't call me a loser when I lose. It's just one trade in my data set, right? It's just one trade in thousands and thousands and thousands of trading days. We're talking thousands. If you've come to this channel, you've watched me do this over and over and over again. So, weekly. All we need is just close with a wick to the downside and see if we can get the next one to be a tweezer bottom. Like, I'll take anything. I'll take anything that doesn't close below these two candles. So just close this red with a wick here. I'll take it. And then we'll go from there next week as we get closer and closer to Friday and then into the weekend. The daily looking like a beautiful reversal candle. I mean, that's what we were looking for yesterday. And that's a bullish engulfing candle if it closes as such. That's a beautiful daily candle. I might be able to hold my trade even more, right? And what I was looking for was a reversal right back to the upside when you dump like that. And so the bullish sign is, look, there's a low, there's a high, that's a higher low. So as I said to, one of my buddies, I said, until you take out that low, we have to remain bullish, right? Even this low here. So Bitcoin takes out that low, then that would be it. I'm not in love shoulder, head, right shoulder, but what it does do is it creates a lot of liquidity up here because you're going to get people to short this. And then I'm going to show you my trick that a lot of people don't understand, and it gets people wrecked all the time. The number one reason people are getting wrecked, and I see it every single day. Does anybody know? Anybody know the number one reason why people are getting wrecked? Anybody have any idea? I want to see what you guys have to say here in the chat. Anybody? Whale activity on Alpha USD, super bullish. This is the next Aster. All in, let's go. Wow, that's crazy. Alpha, huh? Someone says the 21. Poor risk management. Negan's pretty close. Emotions. No stop loss, leverage, too high leverage, over leverage, not using a stop loss, no stop loss. Wow, no stop loss. Emotions, no stop hunt. No stop loss, chasing greed. My account is 0 again, and in the group I got 7 for asking how to leave group. Nice, leverage. Come on, man. That's not true, man. That's just not true. That doesn't make any sense. If you'd like to leave, just email my wife. She'll tell you exactly how to leave. CryptoLifers@gmail.com. Just don't spread rumors, man. My wife will help you immediately. Come on, man. We love you, brother. It just doesn't make sense. If I find out that was true, that person would be have a talking to. Email CryptoLifers@gmail. Said, hey, I'd like to leave the group. I'm struggling. For some reason, it's not for me. Whatever makes you happy, man. I never left the trading group I joined. Never. The guy ended up passing away that had the group. It's crazy, right? So not getting started. Yeah. No correct knowledge. Trading wrong direction for the macro trend. And here we are. Look, we're winning. Is it a coincidence that we're winning in the trade now? Like, is it a coincidence that if you took this trade, you might be in the game? I mean, it's a Wednesday. It's the best day to trade. We're above the 200, touch of the 21. I don't know. And we know this to be true. We've watched this over and over again. So I'm going to show you the trick why most people are getting wrecked here. Like a bunch of people just got wrecked right now. All right. It's because they're shorting above the 200 moving average. When you short above the 200, like write that down. Like do not short, specifically the 5 and the 15. Like once you've cracked them. So let's show you how this all happened this morning. All right. We had a dip. I teach you how steadily amazing the 1 minute is. So we have the dip, right? We get the Adam and Eve, right? Boom, the backwards Adam and Eve. But it happens, as you can see it there, we get above the 200 moving average. That's the beautiful signal on the 1 minute. We dabble with it again, but we make a flag. We continue up. Once we get above the 1 minute, you can check the 3 minute and see how the 3 minute. Look, the 3 minute is an even better signal because it's cleaner. The 3 minute made the flag above the 200. And I trade the 3 minute a lot on Bitfinex. They have the 3 minute, which is really nice. And look at that. Bang. That's a beautiful trade right there. You get in right there where the 21 is above the 200. You're front running the golden cross. It's the same thing that we're doing now on the 15. Then you see the 5 minute and you get above the 5. Now, the people are starting to short the market right here. You do not short when you're above, now you're above the 5 minute 200 moving average. You short when you break below the 200 moving average. This is the short area. This is the short here when you break below the 5 minute 200 moving average. You don't start shorting once you cross this, but what is, they get laid. They don't understand this. They get wrecked. Look at Bitcoin going for it right now. Just absolutely sending to the upside. And this is what you're looking for here to make money, right? Gains on gains. Now, at one point, you can kind of shave the stop loss up a little bit. You can take profits at this. You do whatever makes you happy. But look, I mean, that's a beautiful gain there. You do that 3 times a day, that's $3,000, right? Remember, we're not in these, you don't have to be in these trades all day. We were in this trade just 15, 20 minutes ago. Now, I'm pretty far away from the 21-day moving average. Looks like for the rest of the day, this could pump. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame, how the 1 hour is looking. Yeah, the 1 hour looks like it could go just head all the way up to the 200 moving average. It tells me if I just sit tight with my stop loss below the 200 or even just at break even, should be able to continue this position. Look at this, 113,500 on KKEX. We're pumping hard to the upside. Shout out to anyone that got into this awesome trade here with the lifer 555 Soul. 113 555. I love it. 555 Soul, baby. 555 Soul. Bang, bang, bang. I've seen them 555s the last few days. I don't always see them. That's interesting. Bitcoin ripping to the upside. Trade absolutely demolishing it. Up 18%. I mean, that's a green candle. That's a short squeeze. At that point, you got to start thinking about taking some profits if you're just in a swing trade or a day trade. I mean, that's a huge pump. That's going to come back down to the 21-day moving average. It's too artificial of a pump. We're going to take that 366 off the table, maybe a little more. Come on, baby. Come on, give me some more. No, give me some more. Give me some more. Yes, I said give me some more. I said give me some more, and I meant it, baby. I want more, baby. I want more. I desire more. Pump that, baby. Pump that. Pump that. Send that. Send that, baby. Send that. Yes. Yes. My wife's like, what's going on in there? My wife's got her ear to the door. Go, baby, go. Oh, it's a massive candle to the upside. Oh, we're taking everything this puppy's got. This thing is huge. And that is a short squeeze. I'm going to start really, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we did it. We did it. We had to sell that puppy. That was absolute insanity. Look at this. That's one of the biggest 15-minute candles I've seen in a long time. Massive move to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. That's just too far away for the 21-day moving average. That is likely a short squeeze. Let's go. Take what is yours. Take what the market gives you. That was absolutely beautiful. And you can't make this stuff up. This is one of those beautiful things you see live on the channel. And we hit because we're consistent. Bang, 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 baby. Let's go. Shout out to my lovers of life. Shout out to everybody out there. God bless you all. This looks like it's not done, man. I'll be honest. This looks like it's not done. I usually sell early. Look at this thing. They're not done. They're going to cook this thing like a smoked sausage. My gosh. Like a smoked sausage. What a pump to the upside here for Bitcoin. And if you're looking for more, give me some more. You're looking for a flag here on the 1 minute time frame. Maybe it continues to pump and makes a flag above it. We don't know exactly how it's going to happen, or here's the flag here. The 21 come back into play, and we continue this pump to the upside. The 1 hour does look like it wants to continue to move. All right. I'm 50X, ASTER. ASTER getting the pump with Bitcoin too. Back to 229. I'm looking for ASTER. We're going to talk about it in a second. I have $20,000 in on Aster. I am up now nicely on Aster too. So we'll go, up about 25 hundo. We'll see. We're going to keep this train moving. Aster, baby, Aster. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I put 20 grand in. I got 22,593. I can always check if you were going to sell it right now. Look, if I was going to sell it right now, you'd hit sell Aster and it'll show you're up 25.95, right? $2,500 overnight trading Aster, right? So fear not, So I'm trading BTC, Aster, man. This thing, I think having a bag of Aster is a good look. It could go and start taking market share from Hyperliquid. I talked about it. I made a video about it. I think you really got to watch. I think we should change the title of this video because it's an informative video. And I think people think it's more of like a clickbait video, but it's really a video to try to teach people what's happening. This video on my channel here about Aster that I put out a couple days ago. Look at the videos. So look at this little flag here. I mean, this thing could break out. And now that you got Bitcoin breaking out and pumping today, that gives, altcoins that are already pumping. And I can see Aster headed to 288 on some big gains here. So we're looking for some bigger moves. Shout out to Live, Laugh, Love and everybody out here on the live stream. So, and I've talked about Aster over and over again. Shout out to Underground Crypto. Made the video on Lighter you mentioned yesterday comes out on 3:15 today. There will be a separate video about the airdrop and the token. Thank you so much. Everybody go watch his video after the stream about Lighter. I have to go watch it too. He's doing the research for me. He's putting out he's doing the work. And he's complimenting the channel. That I truly believe if you watch that video is going to help you understand some information, and that information could give you the knowledge. And chasing knowledge has always helped me. Look at this thing continue to run. It continued to pump. It did not stop. What a massive move here. And it looks like it's going to hit my target. Oh my goodness, what a pump on the 5-minute time frame here for Bitcoin. And that first target's there, 114,000. Unbelievable. 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 Yeah, so we're looking for this to flag out here now and possibly get into that next trade. Awesome. 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 Still on an ETH trade on this account that I've been in for like 2 weeks. And I'm just going to hold it till I win. It's just that simple. Like, it's going to pump eventually and I'm going to make massive gains. It's just that simple, but I'm just going to hold it forever until I win. So yeah, this looks like it could be kind of holding its gains and getting ready for another pump. Watch the 1-minute time frame here as it consolidates. Okay, so I didn't mean to jump the gun here, but wow, beautiful daily candle for Bitcoin. And that's all we need. We need a tweezer bottom. And that's why, what I've been doing? I've been front running tweezer bottoms. The second I see a green candle get above, like the second it looks like this, like it gets right above here. You see what I'm saying? Like the daily, what I mean is, let me draw it out for you because I don't want to be rude. But here you have the red candle, right? And then we'll have a nasty red candle. We'll open, we'll be dumping. But then we'll come back up. And the second it flips green right here, I tend to front, well, the little green chunk, I like to get in right there with a stop here. Now, they've gotten me before, like a day or two later. But look at that. I mean, that's, if you front run right there, I mean, boom. And then you just put a stop here. Now you put the stop to break even and you either ride or take the profits to guide it. I've been doing that a lot lately on the 4-hour and on the daily time frame. No, and I use no indicators at all. Nothing. I just use 2 candle bodies. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't even have to use a moving. I use nothing. I mean, I know where the moving averages are, and I have all that data because I'm going over it every day. But it's just an amazing way to tackle the market. I do that all the time. Did it down here. They got me the first time, but I got them the second time, and then I ran this whole rally up. This is one of my best trading 2 weeks ever, We're good at finding this bottom. That looks like a daily bottom, baby. This closes as such. That's going to close bullish engulfing. We can kind of get this patty statted. Let's get this patty statted over here. I mean, you could say, okay, inverted head and shoulder. And what I said is a cups and handles over here. Sammy cup and handle to the upside, right? This thing looks like it's going to blast all the way. Sammy cup and handle to the upside. Send it to $123,268. And there's the cup and the handle in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know they. But that's beautiful, right? Pull a Fibonacci on that. Pull Slap a fib on it. Throw some tussin on it. And it wicked right into the golden pocket. I mean, you can't make these coincidences up, can you? Insanity, right? Shout out to anyone that made gains with the lifer today. We may have sold that little local top on that first rally, as it now has to come back down to the 21-day moving average on the 1, maybe even possibly on the 15. It was pretty far away from the 21. You see? Or we could see it kind of like creep up sideways. So that's why I watch the 1 minute now. It'll give us a little more data, and it'll give us the data fast. If this bounces back up and goes side, like, we don't have to trade the 1 minute. We can use it for information to trade the 15. You know, see how that just bounced? Like, that's what I was looking for. It's, as I said it, speaking of bouncer. And what if that thing just continues to rally? The way Bitcoin's been going, it's been furious. And these are my favorite trading days. Thursdays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, man. What do you think about Gemini? It's probably hot, man. Is that like the real Gemini from the After Exchange? It's hot. Both possibilities, true honesty on display. Not sure you can make it up. It's numbers. Shout out to Kyle Otto. Yeah. 1 minute is definitely flagging. Sammy hears colors and sees sound 100%. I can't explain how I know or do what I do here on the charts. It just comes naturally. If you do what I do every single day, you're going to be good at it. Or at least somewhat okay. I hate even saying I'm good at trading because that's when they get you, right? It's like, I'm okay at it. I'm just okay at it. I'm somewhat decent. I think, you know, it's like I do what I got to do. Oh, natural herbs, man. Natural herbs open up the nose, the nasals. So 113,830 for Bitcoin. This thing looks like it's going to soar, man. I don't know. I usually do sell early, and that's the one you got to be able to okay with it. And I just take a deep breath and say, I'm so grateful for the win that I just had publicly in front of the world, right? Thousands of people from all around the world saw you win. That's a blessing. Hey, they saw me lose yesterday, and you know what I mean? I battle these charts every single day, but I know if I keep moving, the biggest wins are coming for me. And those big wins are going to just be so big, it's going to swallow any loss I ever had, you know? And I always wear pants on the stream. Don't play this game, no pants. It's actually absolutely absurd to think someone wouldn't wear pants on a live. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I mean, I would size out the trade here. I don't have to get in, but I would size it out. See how I would like to take it. Yeah, I'd like to have my stop loss below the 21, because once you break the 21, that would negate the trade. 114,673. Stop would be at about 113,574. And here we go, you know. At 227 for 888, that's a pretty cool trade. So that's, you know, that makes sense. A little under half of what I just made to gain another, you know, about 50%. That's okay. I like that. Risk 50% for 150% of what I just made, right? And still be up on the day no matter what happens. It ain't bad. So I do the math and I look at the risk before I do anything else. There's got to be a mathematical calculation behind the risk. Otherwise, it's pointless. Right now, that's a resistance too at about 113,800. 850, right? Excuse me as I use this entire... And going back in right now, I don't think is the best idea at the present moment. I got to watch and wait it out. I want to see consolidation. That looks like an M pattern. M's will break down somewhere to here. And remember how big we got away from the bigger moving averages. On the 15. There's a lot of space there. So, but wow, what a beautiful pump to the upside. And again, get 70% of that measured move. I even feel like I pushed it a little bit there. Yeah, you basically, I mean, it's pretty dang close. So, you can't ask for more over there. And it might even pump. It might even continue. So the daily looks awesome. If everything goes well, that's a bearish engulfing candle. Will close as such, right? Maybe even a little more punched. I see no reason why the daily can't just continue to go all the way to 116K. Like, we just continue to pump all day today. Right? That looks bullish to me. The 4-hour back above the 200 moving average. I've made longs when you just, right now, you just get in with a stop loss below the 200 and let that thing rip back all the way, possibly to the top here. All the way back to 123K. Had you done it right there, you would have made a nice move. Got in at about 113.9, could have got out at 117. Right there, it played out nicely too, from 117 all the way to 123. And right here, when it got above, if you got on here, it still was pretty close. If you kept it, could have sold there and then done it again. And again, right here was one of my favorite trades when we flagged above the 200 there on that 21. So I love when the 4-hour gets above the 200. It can play games. You know, it's not every single time. Like, we could go right back below it again, but the odds are low. And the closer you are to the 200, the better your odds are that you're getting into a discount trade. I've learned that myself too. So, like, if you can get in here, you know, basically draw a 200 moving average. Let me show you. Say this is a 200. Draw a bubble around it. If you can get in here or here, like anywhere in this section, right? And let's talk about it. Like, had you got in anywhere near the 200 here, right? Anywhere, even right, if you got in a little early or a little late, just anywhere in there. Look, you just, I mean, would have eaten it. Same thing here, you know. So draw your bubble and just, you know, attempt to buy near the 200 on that 4-hour. You know, if you have broader range trades, meaning you just have broader ideas that are bigger, not as, like, you know, nitpicky and greedy, they'll go after all the nitpicky, greedy traders, but you'll be okay. I don't know what that looks like, but it looks interesting, right? Could be a cool little new logo. The fish or so, I don't know. So anyway, you see what I'm saying? So I believe we're onto something here for BTC. And I'm showing you right now, I'm teaching you how to trade the bigger time frames, how to look at the monthly, how to scalp the 1 minute. You should be downloading so much right now that by the end of the stream, your subconscious mind has to start reorganizing it. That's why it's very important you're getting a good night's sleep if you're watching my stream every day. If you're going out to the bars, drinking and stuff, a lot of the stuff I say is going to get jumbled. But if you go home, go to sleep, good night, rest, eat right, drink water, stay hydrated, this information is going to get categorized properly. Your subconscious mind is going to work with mine, and you're going to really, really accelerate at a higher level because you're going to be able to use your mind at on a higher level. Neuroplasticity, we're going to change the way you think about yourself and the world and money. Reprogram your whole thought process on money. You deserve to be rich. You deserve to be amazing. You deserve to be a multimillionaire. Why not? You know, middle class people, I grew up middle class. They kind of made us feel, right? Didn't they make us feel guilty for wanting to be rich? And anytime someone was rich, oh, he was born with it. Oh, he probably, you know, runs a company and beats his employees. You know what I mean? There was always just like, rich but, you know, rich but is probably a horrible person. You know, rich but was probably born with it. Rich but, you know what I mean? Born with a silver spoon. And my dad actually kept reading me stories about men who made it from nothing. My dad constantly would rip out articles. Look at this guy. He came from nothing, multimillionaire. My dad was attempting to tell me something, wasn't he? He was showing me so many. He goes, look at this guy. He made millions and lost it 3 times. He would show me stories of that. He loved those stories. Guys who just continuously came back. Like, they were just relentless. It's because there was in their mindset. That's what made them amazing. So above the 200 moving average of the 4-hour is a very bullish sign for me. And that could be the beginning with this higher low of a macro move to the upside here out of what looks to me is a cup and handle. I also see this slide. Look, a shoulder. This could be a very deep head and a little bit of a right shoulder that bounces us further to the upside. We go to the 1-hour time frame and we see a similar idea here. And look what they did, man. They this is so I have to laugh because it's like I was on the right side of the trade, even though, but look, I mean, they made the head and shoulder pattern. They got super bearish. They made a head and shoulder, and they got a bunch of people to short that. 100% they did. And then they even made a double bottom, and they got a bunch of people to long it, and they rated the bottom. This is awesome, right? So look, hey, this is I mean, you gotta love it because the setup is just perfect. So they basically make a double bottom. They get people to long, right? They raid the double bottom on a wick. And then when they do that, they dump the price. You have to remember, this is a red candle at the time. When you see it after the fact, it looks funny, right? Because it's a green candle with a wick. But you have to remember, this was a deep red candle that had everybody freaked out at the time. This candle was massively red and looked like the beginning of a head and shoulder pattern. And especially, it's like, I think that's like, yeah, almost, it's like 12 at night. You know, people are about to go to bed, and this is the last thing they're looking at. They're freaking out. They're freaking out, right? So what they do is they set a bunch of shorts and go to sleep, right? And then they just reverse the price and wreck them all. I seen it get into the wick at night, right? I get wicked out there, but then I see it, and then I make a long that pays for my stop loss, which is crazy. And I have the technical proof. I showed the trades. I could show them now again. Here I am losing on weeks for 467, but gaining for 483 on KKX, right? So exact same moment. You know, mark price was 113.01. Mark price was what? Oh, yeah, I got stopped out in the middle of the night there at 113.371, right? And so there you go. Amazing times to be alive, right? So now we're getting a bit of a tweezer top on the 1 hour, and we are quite far away from the 21-day moving average. So kind of let's break down what we're seeing here now on the smaller time frame. So I see a broadening falling wedge is what I see. These are bullish. They do break back to the upside. They defied the head and shoulder. We talked about that. Amazing. So look, this is going to be your, like, thou shalt not pass zone today. 113,250. Look at the 777s, baby. 113,250, right? We can't lose that key area. Here's the 21 to the 1 hour time frame. If this closes red, tweezer top, you have to assume you're headed back to the 21-day moving average. You hope it's light and not like a nasty dump right back down, which it could be. So if we're bullish, we're looking for some type of consolidation here on the 1 hour. That was a beautiful pump. And you have to remember, we've been pumping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with just 3 slightly red candles. Only really one red candle. The other ones were like indecision dojis. So, I mean, that's a 12-hour pump. That's beautiful. So I got to cover my loss and get paid here on the stream, and we sold a local top. How do I always seem to sell the top? How do I know? Because when I'm away from a 21-day moving average, and when the pump is that voracious and crazy, when you get a pump that violent, and you can feel it, you'll gap from this white line. When your price action gaps away from the white line, I know that we're going to have a bit of an issue. It's just what's going to happen. I believe the 1 hour is the best time frame to watch today because it'll slow you down, it won't make you chase, and it'll keep you humble. Now, a lot of people can't trade the 1 hour. Why? Because it's really not that easy to trade. People think it is, but it's not. It takes 5 to 7, even sometimes 9 to 10 hours to play out what you're looking for. So, you know, you'd make one trade every 9 to 10 hours, every 5 to 6 hours on the, last night. Like you wait for the double bottom or, that higher low and honestly, I had to use a smaller time frame to make the entry last night. So here's the deal. Resistance, the 21. We're not pumping until we come back to the 21-day moving average. It's just not happening. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the show. So today you saw like what happens on the show. It doesn't always happen. We didn't get the volatility the last few days. It was sideways. But we finally got some price action. Look, we got the bigger pump. We took it. How do I, my system will find the only pump of the day and show you how to trade it. I don't know how it does it. And I'm not, it's amazing. The system that I use is absolutely amazing. Take me away from it. You can use it too. I can hand it to you. Here's my system. I give it every single day away on this channel because I believe God only gives me the present time to teach. I don't know if I'll be able to teach tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to teach for the rest, when I'll be able to teach for, so I teach right now. If you live in the present and do what you can in the present, you'll be rewarded forever. Amen. God rewards those who know that like everything that he puts in their life is basically due to God's love for them. Like whatever God has presented for me is due to his love for me. I know that to be true now. There was a time when I used to say, God, why did you forget me? God, how come you're hurting me? God. And it's like I prayed to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger. Like God will put you through things. That's my favorite saying of like our top 10 favorite sayings. I think I say it a couple times a month here on the channel. I forget it some days, but other days it comes back around, I prayed to God for strength. He gave me more problems to make me stronger. When you're young and God's working on you, you think God's forgot about you. When you're older and you look what God did for you, You're so thankful God was so hard on you. Just like a father, the relationship between your dad is teaching you a lot about your relationship with God. You know, my dad was hard on me because he wanted me to remember that the world was tough. My dad said the world is tough. If I'm soft on you, then you're not going to be ready for the world. You know, animals do it. They leave their babies to get out of the nest, you know, and they make them have to figure out how to fly, right? And if they don't, so the bird tries to fly a few times, can't do it, gets scared. Each time it does that, it finds its wings, you know what I mean? If they were to take the bird out of the nest and just let it, you know, by itself, it would die because it would never get the power, you know, just like if you took a caterpillar out of its chrysalis, right? You know what I mean? It fights to get out of the chrysalis when it becomes a butterfly, and it has to fight, and it can't break through. It's too weak. And it moves it day by day, and eventually it makes it through, and it flies out as a butterfly. Now, you could see it struggling, and if you took a stick and opened that thing out, it would fall out and die, eventually lifeless, because the struggle builds its power for it to fly later on in life. Without its struggle through the chrysalis, you know, I'm saying that right, the chrysalis, right? Or, you know, without its struggle, you know, it would never gain the strength. I mean, that's the most beautiful thing I'd ever say. And that's the same thing with your trades. If you're losing, if you got liquidated today, God bless you. That's amazing. Good for you. God bless you. You know what I mean? If you lost tons of money today, God bless you. If you lost your whole account, you know what? Great. I'm just saying, you'd be like, how dare you? Great. Yeah, that's the best thing that could ever happen to you. Number one, you learned a valuable lesson not to play with your money like that, right? Amen, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying you should be taking this financial advice, but man, if you got liquidated today, you learned a lesson, period. Look at BOOKMAP now. It's built a bunch of liquidity for us up at about 114,800. Starting to tell us that it's building something for us possibly later on today. And look, the 15-minute could be our, you know, I do like the 15-minute too. Maybe the 15-minute gets a move. And I know I switched my stance from the 15 to the 1 hour, but I like them both. They're good time frames. Today, it does look like the 15-minute really could help us out and provide the pump that we're looking for. 114,808 for BTC. And again, if you want to learn my strategies, my tips and tricks, and what I do every single day, and how I was able to make live gains in front of everybody, I'm able to actually use a strategy that I'm not embarrassed, or I have no fear that if I use it in front of you, I'm likely to win. If that gets you going and gets you excited, because I've never seen confidence like that online. I really haven't. Jump on in, go to cryptolifer.com, right? And subscribe to our awesome trading group. You can join basic month, a quarterly, or a yearly. It's less than $3 a day to have access to my subconscious mind that has scanned the market day in and day out without a day off, continuing to push you to your highest level. I want to see you stay disciplined. I want to see how many days you can be consistent. I want to see how many days you can show up and keep going. I've done it for years straight, and you can too. God has given me this ability, an everlasting energy that will never end if I tap into it and continue to grow. And remember, you got to get out of your comfort zone too. You're never going to grow staying in your comfort zone, doing the same thing every day, being in the same place. You will not grow. You will not grow. You got to get out of your comfort zone. I found my growth when I got out of my comfort zone. You know, I don't know how or why, but it's just kind of how it is. 12-hour golden cross on deck for Bitcoin. Pack your bag, somebody says. Let's take a look at the 12-hour. He says, yeah, I mean, there's about to be a golden cross. And when the 12-hour gets above the 200 moving average, we usually get a massive pump. And I'm looking for us to move through this gap. Look at this gap of the VRVP. We're above the point of control. I mean, we're about to head back up to 115,900. It looks very, very likely for Bitcoin. Yeah, I like what we're seeing here for BTC. I do. Wow, Bitcoin, baby, Bitcoin. And it's a beautiful time to be alive. 113,005 for BTC, 113,625 on spot on the, well, that's the U.S. history index. It's going to be a little higher than the others, right? Okay, so moving forward, we made a beautiful call for BTC. We nailed it. The shorts got liquidated, and now we're waiting for the 1 hour and the 15-minute to come back down close to their 21-day moving averages and find some type of consolidation. I believe it's going to take 2 to 3, maybe even 5 hours at the most It could take 7. And I don't know exactly. It's somewhere between, 4 and 7 hours. You know what I mean? In my humble opinion. But maybe actually, I don't know exactly. Just watch the 15 and the 1 hour. If the 15-minute completes a beautiful flag, maybe it only takes 2 hours. How do I know this? We'll hold shift and go sideways. See, 3 hours and 15 minutes. But if the 1 hour has to flag out and really get to the 21, it could take anywhere between 7 and 8, maybe even a little more. It's really not about the time, it's about the structure. Wait for the 21 to come up. The 1 hour has to revisit this 21-day moving average. Or we're gonna struggle. Beautiful Adam and Eve, in my humble opinion there. Nice move, double bottom in a way, or triple, I don't know, it's a mess, but it made it. 113,500 is a key level for Bitcoin too. Would like to see it just really hold, get above that level and rip. Waited 5 days to trade. I was seeing a good move. Been making above, 2 more. Yeah, exactly. 6K a week. I love it, man. Shout out to Mr. Flawless. Yeah, we just wait for the perfect move, take it and move. Like that 15-minute was the perfect model. Above the 221, take it. That means there was a lot of strategies that probably showed the model because if it's that good of a model, it's going to show. Even here, if you look here, just this flag on the 5, this was amazing last night. That 5-minute flag, that's just gorgeous. And then we traded this flag this morning. They didn't get us on the stop hunt. And it's looking like there could be some more gains coming here for Bitcoin. So, yeah. And we're just going to watch the 1 hour and the 15 for our perfect time to strike when the 21-day moving average comes up. And we stay above, preferably this pointer there, 113.5. Really want to stay back above that key level. 4 green soldiers on the 4-hour time frame also says my peoples here. Look at that. Look at that bounce right now on the 5-minute time frame. Yeah, and again, 3 white soldiers. I like what he just said. 1, 2, 3. That'll close in 38 minutes. 3 white soldiers above the 200 moving average. These are very bullish signs, in my humble opinion, for Bitcoin. I would expect a massive pump in the next, I'd say, 48 hours. And there wasn't huge news, that whole that guy. Someone was talking about all this big news. This guy Dennis Porter online. I remember Fred Krueger called him out. He's like, the biggest nothing burger in history will be remembered as today, Dennis Porter. It was pretty funny, man. A lot of people can't say he's very controversial, Fred Krueger. For me, he's a huge Bitcoin supporter, and I guess at the end of the day, that's great. A lot of people don't love him though. I don't, what I mean. I've seen backlash. Look at that beautiful bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame too, as well. Calling out that bottom, and we were digging through the bottom. They wicked it, but man, we could see it last night. They saw anyone that called it the divergence, wicked it down, and then bang. So they got me, but I got back in, and then I got in again today. So they call me Sammy 2 times over here. Hey. And this is where we stand now. And we can move this up now. So shout out to anyone that took advantage of the trade and who was able to take profits with me. If you're scared all the time, you're going to be like, oh, it's going to keep pumping. Then you have fear that it's going to keep pumping. You can't sell. And then it dumps in your face. So people that use fear to trade, those are the people that can't sell. They can't sell because they're afraid it's going to keep going up. And they're afraid how they're going to feel if they sell. So they never sell. And so they round trip almost 80 to 90% of their trades. Almost all, think about what if 90% of your trades were trades that went up and came right back down again. I remember those days, man. Those were my trades. It was over and over and over again. Now I either get stopped out or I take my profits, you know what I mean? And I trade a model. It's awesome. I'm free of all that other mental nonsense that I used to play games with. It doesn't work. It doesn't help. It makes you sick. And it makes trading not fun when you have no rule books and no system. You're going to, the odds of you getting chewed up are basically almost 100% that you're not going to make it. Some people, I guess, win a couple big, huge trades that pay for all their absurd losses. But is that really the way, so to speak? So yeah, it looks like we could get a massive move here for Bitcoin to the upside. I love this. I love being above 113,500. This guy says, take screenshots, not profit, guys. Remember always. I know, right? Yeah, right. Now, you got to sell, man. You got to sell. I've sold publicly on this channel, I don't know how many times, right? You got to do it over and over again. Basically, you're going to become the trader. You're going to become the trader. You're going to become what you do all the time as a trader. So if you are afraid to take profits and you never sell, then you're going to become a losing trader. If you pay the trader habitually, you're going to be in the habit of paying the trader. And so over time, you're going to become a profitable trader. You know, the odds are high unless you do something. I don't know what you're going to become, right? Because I can't. But the odds are person A would become a more profitable trader if they just listen to the, you know what I mean? XRP back above the 200 moving average. And again, like I said to everybody, remember I said this has to either A, be the bottom for altcoins, or it's devastation. And so it was actually like and there was high risk again. And I've got the long right here for XRP with the stop loss below the daily 200 moving average. Look, there's a cup and handle there. Don't you see it? Come on, regulation is going forward. Brad Garlinghouse got married. Finally, he's got that. He can really focus on the company now. He sold all his XRP for the wedding. $10 million wedding probably or something. I'm sure it was like $1 million. You know, he's a billionaire, so, right? So, look, the daily could head all the way up to about 6.89. $6.89 for XRP. I like it. I like it a lot. So, I'm looking for XRP to bang. And you can bring the stop loss to about 249. Me, personally, that's where I would have it. You do whatever makes you happy on your education based on what you know. I would never tell you what to buy or sell. Or, you know, I'm just showing you this is what I like here. It's a cup and handle. It'll take its time. It's likely to break out all the way up to 380, come back down to 323, sideways, sideways, sideways. Maybe a wick down for craziness, a wick up for not, you know, and then brain, you know. And then it's going to do its time. That's going to take time. That might not be till February. You know what I mean? I'm just see how that can play out. That says February or March. And everyone thinks, oh, XRP to thousands of dollars. That whole, I would get rid of all that nonsense in your head. XRP to thousands of dollars, changing your life overnight. It just say, hey, if I hold XRP for the next 10 years, there's a chance it will go to $1,000. That's a way smarter way to look at it, but do whatever makes you happy. You know, I thought I was going to get rich way quicker than I did when I got into cryptocurrency. It took like 8 years. I thought it was going to take a few, you know, and I got rich a few times and I lost it. Or, you know, I had more money. I don't know about rich, but I had more money than I had, you know. I became a millionaire almost twice and saw it all trickle through my hands. That's devastating. And then spent years on a night shift in places I shouldn't have been. I should have been out of it already. And I sat there being like, in my mind, like I had it. Like I had already made it out of this. I had made $800,000 off of like 60 grand in 2017, you know? And man, whatever, man. I'm so happy that I went through the ups and downs that I did, because I would never have the grace that I have now. And I would never understand all you guys that don't, you know, that struggle with trading, and women. And I wouldn't be able to help you all. But because of the losses that I went through and the pain that I've received, I can translate that into a way to help each and every one of you. And that's the plan. So not, you know, some people learn the sauce, but I've been there, man. I've been through so many. I've been trading for a long time. And I've been through the Toronto Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange. I've taken losses. I've won. And, you know, I've been in trades right now. Like Bitcoin, I've been in a trade. I got into Bitcoin around $800, $900, $1,000. Right? I'm up, what, 113x right now on my BTC. 113x on my Bitcoin, right? I never sold it. I never sold it at a 50x, 80x. I mean, that's insanity. Who does that? Only someone who's out of their mind would not sell an 80x. After a long term, too. I've been holding it for years, so it'd be short-term capital gains on 80x. It's insanity, right? It is what it is, man. No. I'm passing that down generationally. It just makes me work harder to know that I will never sell. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep grinding for mine. Like, And you should too. Create a legacy for your family. It's not about you and what you can do for yourself. It's about what you can leave for generations beyond you. If we all thought generationally, think about where this world would be, how many more farms there would be. You know, right now I'm working really hard. I'll tell you why. I'm going to buy like a farm. I'm going to live on, there's this gated community near my house with 5 acres of land, right? I love the community, man. I really do. But I'll have 5 acres of land there. I'll have horses. I'll have goats. I'll have chickens. And the kids can go out at any time and play with the animals and I just think it's a blast. You know what I mean? So I'm watching AVANTIS inside this beautiful flag on the 6-hour time frame, even the 4-hour. I want to get that McConaughey's S's. So, right? When you floss real well and the air goes through your teeth there's the air. So, wow, that's a beautiful flag. AVANTIS looks beautiful. And I gave AVANTIS down here at 110, and you're still on the money if you got into AVANTIS. We talked about AVANTIS down here on my channel when it first came out. AVANTIS is insane. Look at this. It's a decentralized trading DEX, right? And even if you hit the trade button, I remember when I went to portfolio, it depends on where your location is, but it does say you can load it with Coinbase, which is kind of crazy. And look at the bot. I got a bot here that trades for me. It entered here, here, and here. It's right about at its average price now, so it's back to break even. And that's its take profit, up at 116,000. And this thing is going to go for the gusto. So if you would like to find out more and get a bot running, hit the MINOTAUR trading link right here to find out more. It's awesome. I like it. I was very skeptical about bot trading, thought it would ruin me, thought the bot would keep going, and, just eventually I heard horrible stories, so I didn't trust it. I'm a manual trader, and but times are changing. We have AI. You got to have some form of AI trading for you, and I have access to this beautiful product, and it's amazing. So it runs in the background, and look at it, bought the dang bottom here, and it does a really good job. It's not emotional like you and me, and it can weather the storm no matter what. Check out MINOTAUR Trading Systems. Hit the link there to find out more. All right. Superchat, ATH. We'll take a look at ATH. So look, AVANTIS looks really hot right now. Look at it on the 1-hour time frame. It looks like it's going to break out and pump to the upside. And again, maybe it's stop hunts. You never know. But that looks absolutely beautiful to me. And again, you're trading basically the idea that Coinbase is structured to pump. And we gave this trade already weeks ago, or a week ago, I'd say. I don't know, weeks ago. And this weekend we were on AVANTIS. I even told my trading group exactly what I was doing. Unbelievable what happened there, right? And it's priced similarly to ASTER, right? So you have ASTER. You have ASTER and AVANTIS. They are the two names you want to be saying for the next week or two, in my humble opinion. And they've got amazing utility because they're decentralized perpetuals. I mean, this is a big deal. This is Base, man. Base chain, Coinbase. Put 2 and 2 together, so you can go buy coin stock on the regular market, or you can buy AVANTIS. You get what I'm saying? Or Aerodrone. In my opinion, I like AVANTIS. I hold a little bit, and I like AVANTIS, man. So I think it's gonna be huge. And look at that thing; it's getting tight. It definitely looks like it could break out above the 200 moving average, and maybe it dumps. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? I know I own it, so it's like yay, but anything could happen. Don't buy it because I'm in it. Buy it if you like it, if it makes sense to you. I like when the moving averages get tight at a high volume node. It just looks very likely like it will break out. Prayers and support to the 99 in purple LLM. Reliable J, if there's anything myself or other willing can do to help, let us know in the Discord. Sorry for hijacking, Sammy. God bless you, man. What's up with the Reliable J? Is all right? If it breaks to the downside, it'll free fall. Possibly. Not just my life that's changed you neither, thanks to Sam. I've got a few friends that believe in me, and they believe in Sam also, now too. And their lives are changing, up, and away. Thank you. Man, we just got to find people that believe in us and get away from negative people that don't. And keep pushing every single day. And then find knowledge that can change the way we look at the world and ourselves. and continue to gain, a group of people that do the same, and that uplift each other. I want to be around people that uplift. That's why I love this channel. Everybody here uplifts each other. Everyone here wants everyone to help, to do their thing, Yeah, Orderly is also the smaller version of both of these. And wow, I liked Orderly. I said just put it here. I wanted to see it consolidate better. It didn't hold up, right? Smaller, right? So it's got that smaller. But dang, man, Orderly would have been nice if it went sideways. So now you're going to have to do this to Orderly. This is what I do. I just keep projecting. Once it fills out the flag, we'll have a higher probability of trading it. It's very simple stuff. Now, that may be one of your greatest prices for Orderly. If you take a look here on the fib, I mean, right back down to 21 cents. These things are probably going to be the talk of the town. It was just 7 cents. This thing's on a 3x run and went all the way to 35. It almost did a 5x from where it was, and it could continue to do so. You have to remember, this is about market share in a sector, the perpetual DEX sector. And as we continue to grow, lighter is another one on the radar. I think that comes out today at 3:15. This is another perp. This is going to be big, man. Lighter is going to be huge. I like their whole marketing. I even love their logo. I can already see it's going to be big, man. It makes sense to me. So lighter is going to be big. Look, the point is, look at ASTER at a $3.7 billion market cap. And that thing is going. Look at Hyper then. Hyper is the biggest one right now. That's at a 15. So ASTER is coming for Hyper. It's making sense. It's only a matter of time. And they could both grow together. It doesn't have to eat it away, but I'm just saying this is something that you're seeing. So then you'd say, okay, well, AVANTIS then. If you're below $1 billion, you have a chance. So look, this could 5x to $2.5 billion, right where ASTER is, and not even have to take up that much market share of this move. And then you say, okay, well, what about Orderly? And you'd write in order, and you'd be like, orders, I think 100 million. 68 million, that thing could 10x to 680. So now you have something, this could possibly 30x. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I do. I build narratives, I speculate, and I start to see. And then you have to have but the volume is very low here, like where I trade it. Like that's so it could move the needle. That's the only thing I'm not a huge fan of. On Gate, though, it has 22 million. It's pretty nice that it has big volume on Gate. It ain't bad. Aerodrone, it's got 1.9. Bybit, it's got 13 million. So it's not the worst. It's just the volume spread out. And we don't have enough there on MEXC like I usually like to see too as well. So Bitcoin is doing beautifully right now. It's flagging out on the smaller time frames. And it very well could continue to pump here later on into the day. BOOKMAP has big red above us saying, hey, we're going to pump that puppy. And look at XRP just getting a massive pump in the last 15 minutes. 290 up to 293. And I'm very bullish on the daily here for XRP. I put out a call for it. And I don't like the leverage trade, but that tells me, hey, a stop loss below 250 and holding that puppy all the way to 691 could be a very long but very advantageous. That could be a beautiful trade that pays the traitor. Pay the traitor, boy. All right, so a lot going on today. All coins coming up strong. Let's take a look at the ETH BTC pair and see if there's a bounce here. ETH still kind of basically flat really against Bitcoin. Maybe getting a bit of a bounce though to balance itself off inside of a flag here. Why am I looking at this? I just want to see how altcoins are doing against BTC. What probably looks better is Sol BTC. No, it also, look at that. It also took a beat down. It's telling me that, Bitcoin dominance is back with a bit of a vengeance here. And it's okay. I don't think it's going to be wreck city, but it's definitely going to we're not going to get the huge pumps we were getting. It's going to be a little more sideways. It's going to be what we say back to Bitcoin. I mean, look at this. That's a beautiful little flag there. I'd start watching that, seeing how that thing could turn into a moneymaker there. That 5-minute pump us up to 114.8. I'm bullish on Bitcoin today, as you can see. And everything kind of looking interesting. Look at that Sol, Adam and Eve there that did make it to the pump city. That's why I like those Adam and Eves. They're absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in. Shout out to everybody here. Orderly lifer. Yep. Prayers and support. Thank you. God bless. Sam, do you think XRP could reach $1,000? Maybe one day. I don't know if it's going to do it overnight, though, like everyone says. You're going to wake up one day and it's just, you know what I mean? My family wonders what changed in me in the past year, and my accounts reflect my concentration to the market. I've made more money this year in crypto and the stocks than I made in wages in 5 years. Hey, you deserve it, man. God bless you. You had the discipline and the focus, and that's what changed. It's just discipline and focus. That's all we need. We just need the direction. And we, you know what I mean? What they try to make cool isn't cool. And they lead young men in the wrong direction. And so, or whatever, society, I don't know. But we have to have people that stand up for the family, that stand up for the family man. Right? I'm a family man. I got 3 beautiful daughters, 3 kids. I love them all. I love my wife. And, I want to do right by my family. I want to stand by them every single day. And they keep me whole. I make the right decisions because my family's with me. And everything I do is so I can spend more time with my kids. That's it. That is it. Everything I do is so I can spend more time with my kids. Dear Lord, thank you for that opportunity. When I end the stream, I can go kiss both my kids. Right? So there's opportunity all over the market. Let's take a look here at the live chat and see what's cracking. Shout out to Mr. Flawless. Shout out to Aaron Crypto. Shout out to Anish. Shout out to Mongoose. Shout out to I Can't Pronounce. Shout out to Taran Marpui. Shout out to Diamond D. Shout out to George Wingard, my man, Mr. Wingy. Shout out to Wagon Shorts, Nika, Dana, Gary Fries. Shout out to my man Vincenzo. Love you, brother. Vinny. Reliable J. And then we got the top fans. Andrew Yurkovic, #1 today. Underground Crypto coming through. JC the Adventure, FMAS, XRP Mix S, Tio Malo, 618 Golden Pocket. I love that. JC the Average Gamer. Keep it a real since podcast. Reliable J, TPT Don 1, and Rave Song Records. And I can spend all day doing this. I wouldn't be able to go through the super chats. So let's take a look at the fan funding. And someone's asking about ASTER. So here, you just donated 100 to meet Kevin's live. So here's some of it back. To be exact. God bless you, man. Thank you. Love you, Sammy. Can we check out XRP? Thank you for your work. Thoughts on Linnea? I like Linnea a lot. We have a setup here. All ATH. Yeah. Made the video on lighter. Thank you. And blessings to you and your family. Could we look at AVANTIS? Yes, we did that. And prayers and support to the 99 in purple. If there's anything myself or other willing to do, God bless you. Yeah, something I don't think, maybe you're getting, I think he's okay. I don't know. That's not his daughter in the tweet. I just woke up this morning and saw this tweet. Today was one of the hardest days for Ruthie. Hours of waiting. This is somebody's daughter who I don't know. It just hit me so hard, And I just, God bless that child. I hope she survives, man. So anyway. Bitcoin. So if you can retweet that, send some love, and basically spend a moment of your day for somebody else and send some love and light, Moment of silence for that poor girl. Dear Lord, do everything in your power to bring her back healthy to her family. Make her make it through that tough time in the hospital, man. I don't know what I would do if I had to go through that, or my kids. Amen. And we don't know why God does what he think he does, but hope it brings us closer to God and not further away. Bitcoin looks like it's about to erupt in the 5-minute time frame. I have to be, I got to be, I know I'm talking about the 1 hour and the 15, but that's starting to look pretty interesting. That could pump. And so I figured why not throw a safety order in here on the USD pair. So I got one cooking right now. Let that thing cook. Again, that's the idea that we're above those 200 moving averages. And we're probably just going to get lifted. So you want to make a bigger idea trade. And see, the thing is, if you're stuck on the smaller time frames, you can't see the bigger time frame trades. They happen at the same time. And so I do both. I have the small time frame scalp while I look at the bigger time frames too as well. Right? And we go from there. Shout out to my beautiful peoples trading on weeks. And I'm looking at weeks now for a bigger trade on the 12-hour time frame. I like what I'm seeing. As we wait for the segue here, that tweezer top 2 on the 1 hour. Shout out to the channel sponsors. Kinesis, a good place to put your gold and silver to work. I have an average balance right here with some silver working. What you can do is you can ship your gold and silver in. They turn it into these coins and they can actually start using it. You can actually get the velocity token and use it too for yield. You can earn with a metal back card 10% on your purchases and get 10% back on your gold. Then you could sell that gold for Bitcoin. It's just one of the only places I've ever seen where you can actually move your money around and, you know, basically turn gold into something you could buy Bitcoin with and Ethereum and continue. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying you should be taken as such, but this is an amazing place. Go to Kinesis.money to find out more. If you got gold sitting on the sidelines and it's made a beautiful return, maybe you could put it to work here at Kinesis.money. It's awesome. Wow, so we've seen some opportunity here in this market for sure. We got orderly, which I see twice too there. All right. So yeah, we're looking at weeks, and I just want to kind of flip the script here to the bigger time frame. I'm going to go to that 12-hour. Yeah, see that? I like these trades where you could just kind of set it and forget it. Now, it does look like there could be some more down. You know, that like I don't love the flag on that 1 hour. There could be some drawdown. But this technically should play out. I should get to the all-time high over time. I should let this just go all the way to Singapore, right? So 110,936, right? Again, it's a deep stop. This is a bigger trade with bigger entries and bigger ideas, right? And yeah, you can just go a G for 4,000, right? You know, and if it doesn't go, you lose 1,000. If not, you get the... Now, you got to trade bigger amounts on, you know, for me, I got to trade bigger amounts on bigger time frames, or what's the point? You know, how do we move the needle? You know, I can also scalp on small time frames and give less risk, but man, that looks very bullish to me. What I'd like to do, though, is use the smaller time frames to hone in on a better entry. And that's kind of what I do. So once I see there's a great possibility of a nice move, I got to zoom in and see kind of what's happening, right? So we're back to this 15-minute. And again, I know that 21 has to connect. Same with the 1 hour time frame. So if I get too crazy, you know, and again, what does it? Maybe it just does pump up to the 200, though, and then it comes back to the 21. That could happen. Get magnetic. Just boom. I like that we're above 113,005. Back to BOOKMAP. Link to BOOKMAP in the description. What is BOOKMAP? It's a liquidity heat map. It shows us where your order book is, right? And it kind of says, hey, there's a lot of orders up here at about 114,850. That's likely where we're going today, everybody, at one point, either later tonight or into the morning. I mean, it says we're going to liquidate those shorts. And it's only a matter of time now. And my system is saying the same thing. You're going up here. 115K. That's going to be resistance, though, for sure. At the 1 hour 200 moving average, that's a great place to take some profits. Once we get above the 1 hour 200, that will be another massive catalyst for a move to the upside. All this should take, and there's high probability behind all this. I've backtested it all. And I'm not trying to be a know-it-all. I'm just telling you, this is kind of how price action works. So, wow, I like what we're seeing here. We're honed in today. Shout out to anyone that traded with the lifer. May God bless each and every one of you that jumped on into these trades and who made gains trading. Who made gains trading with the lifer? Let me know. Let me know. And we're going to look at ATH. Put a 333 if you made gains trading with the lifer today on the live stream. I want to see how many people, because we actually make real gains here on the channel. Other people just show you charts and talk about this and that. You never know if they've ever made you a dime or showed you how to make a dime. Like, you know what I mean? This channel proves that the value we give you actually turns to value. There's real value here every single day. Come for the value. It's free value. We're passing out value meals, man. Straight up. Shout out to Crypto Billy. And sorry to Crypto Billy, but I did beat Crypto Billy in my only win here in fantasy football of the week. Yeah. We did it, baby. We did it. I changed up my team this week, too. All right. Well, it looks like I'm projected to lose yet again. My team isn't amazing. Sammy, what's your thoughts on Vader AI? I love Vader AI, but it just depends on, we got to get the move back. AI agents have to come back. So Virtual has to come back or Vader does nothing, right? So if Virtuals comes back strong, Vader comes back strong, and everything kind of starts to make the move. I just entered the market with buys. You're funny, man. I love you, man. God bless anybody out there. And shout out to all the 333s, the people that are making gains with the lifer. I got 3 screens at the moment, and they're getting crowded. Hey, I got 6 of them. I feel like I only really need 4, though. But once I lose 2, I'm going to think, I wish I had those back, you know. It's nice to look right and left and just have some extra space there, right? My sugar bomb me XRP. You're funny, man. My sugar baby. Who's your sugar, man? You guys think Aster will pump for the next few days? We don't think. We just look at the charts. It would be nice if it does. There's no guarantees of anything happening, though. It's one step, one day, one moment at a time when it comes to these charts and these coins. Tomorrow night's the weekly screen share. We're going to break down Bitcoin, what's happening in the markets. We'll have some fun with each and every one of you guys, and it's just going to be a blast. You know, I keep being in between day swinging Aster and holding it long term. It looks like it's about to pump for more. Let's talk about Aster in the charts that we gave the last few days. So Aster was in this beautiful little flag here above the other. So I gave it here inside this flag. And it broke out of this flag, right? And we even saw that it double bottomed on the 618 at 131. Amazing, right? Then we gave you this flag here at $20, and then it ripped up again, and it's now on like another flag. And if Bitcoin continues, I don't see how this thing doesn't rip. Headed to about 284. At that point, maybe it has a deeper pullback, but man, that thing is so beautiful. Aster, baby, Aster. CZ's hubby, right? CZ's sweet baby mama. And, you know, I could see this thing over time just continuing. I mean, it made a beautiful base at 132. And again, we were talking about it on the weekend. I gave it at about 79 out of this flag there at about 79 cents. And you'd still be in the gains if you took my call. Sammy, what is that flag and not a cup and handle? I mean, there's a cup and handle there too, but it's over, you know, now it's late. Yeah. Bitcoin struggling now. I'm happy I didn't go all in there. 113,250 for BTC. And Bitcoin's been funky to trade. I have to be honest. Like, it's been back and forth. I'd like to see that 12-hour hold, the 200 moving average. It just gave it back. 4 hour stays above it. So what we're looking for, I mean, again, like I said, let's look for that flag on the 1 hour and the 15. Once that flag's out, I believe the trade will be ready. So I'm waiting to trade this in about somewhere between 4 and 7 hours. Go for walks today, stay in nature, touch some grass, and then come back to the charts and trade tonight. Now, there might be some altcoins to trade. I'm just joking. But, you know, for Bitcoin, yeah, I'm not going to obsess about it all day. That's the key to make money, is not to obsess, to let the trades play out over time. Sam engages with chat, shares TA, reads all the super chats, live trades with big bags every day. Lifer must be AI bot, guys. And we love you, man. Thank you so much. I love the chat. I love you guys. You think Aster will pump for the next few days? I don't know. Feed my sheep. Yeah, I hope so. You can't let the sheep get skinny. What's going on over here? But you do know it all, Sammy. No, I don't. I know a little bit of it all. I got 3. I believe you did not put your stop loss in your Bitcoin pair trade. Yeah, no, it'll come later. Is Weeks a good DEX? I'm an affiliate with and KKX, but haven't approached by a week recently. You're funny. Always watching multiple time frames for the same coin, always. I like that. Check out Quanto, guys. Hidden gem like Aster was at the beginning. Quanto. And that may have been the reason I just scanned that whole chat open to get into Quanto here. Who knows? Quanto. Where did you find Quanto? How do you know about it? That's what I would like to know. Quanto. Okay, $55 million market cap. It's got a sole address. Let's take a look at Quanto. I'm watching this coin too, ASTERBOT. It really might pump with Aster, as crazy as it sounds. I know it's nuts, but this is very high risk. Very high risk. Actually, let's put it in ANTIRUG, because I don't know. I mean, before I say a word, let's see. It looked cool, but I forgot. I was like, I got to do my own due diligence, right? 143 ruggers stopped today alone. So it doesn't have a bad safety score. The Liquidity is strong. Market cap sold at 57. Supply is reasonable. Only 7.3 wallets, low adoption. Top holder owns 20%. Top 10 owns 57. Way too concentrated. That's what happens a lot, though. Quanto. I would have sworn I took ASTERBOT, but let's see here. I must not have copied that one. Aster not, which is funny, right? That's even got a worse score, so be careful. Quanto. $56 million market cap. I mean, maybe, I don't know. To me, it's high risk, high reward. You know, you could say, okay, it broke out of this, and then you could pull a fib from this to that, and okay, it bounced off the 786, which is where it should have. Now it's got supportive resistance. Look, a bit of an Adam and an Eve there too. Now it's got a supportive resistance idea here, and you look for that to flag out, or maybe even down flag and make, you know, what would be a bit of a cup with a handle, right, and then continue on out. Doesn't look bad. It looks like it could continue to pump. I'm all set though. I don't think I'm going to be touching it. No. I mean, Aster looks hungry right now at about 226, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. AVANTIS looks absolutely beautiful, like it's about to get busy, but who knows? It's very tight. It could also dump in our face. It's somewhat symmetrical triangle, right? The daily has pumped hard, so I mean, you gotta always believe that anything could happen. And never be like, oh, I'm guaranteed to win. Nothing is guaranteed to do anything. Remember that. Like, people get devastated. They think the trade is a shoo-in. I'm going to win for sure. And when they don't, they just can't believe it. You know what I mean? Looks pretty cool. It's above the 200 moving average. There's a bit of an Adam Eve there. Might come back down one more time there. Definitely worth moving this over a bit. Right-clicking it, adding that alert so I can get alerted immediately. I'll have this up on my screen most of the day. This is something I'm definitely going to pay more attention to than anything else. All right, please check Sweet. Yeah. Sandwich super chat, but won't let me. Can you look at S stable for a quick minute? Isn't that stable coin or something? Yeah, we'll look at it. And there's unstable coin, right? That thing looks like it's just going to continue to moon. All right, you got this bigger channel. I mean, it's been ripping on MEXC, right? I could see this thing do numbers for sure. Head all the way to 85 cents. I don't see what's going to stop it. It's got higher highs, higher lows. A bit of a cup and handle there, right? You can see that cup in the handle. And it's doing damage. I'd love it to come back down to the bottom of the channel there. Just kind of get tight inside the nose. For maybe 5 to 6 to 8 hours and then rip. I don't know anything about the coin. I don't hold any. I'm just looking at the TA alone. I don't know. It might have really low volume, so be careful. Have you looked at V2 bubble maps? I think I have, yeah. What's up, Crypto Nation? God bless you. We're V2 bubble maps. Yeah, but I had to sign in and all that stuff, so I just, whenever I have to sign into stuff, I'm all set. But yeah, I remember those, yeah. Lifer, please do homework on Vader and do not let your people buy. Yeah, started good, but he is, okay, thank you for saying that. I just speculated on it like a year ago, so who knows? You know, I have no idea, man. I don't like talk about people like that either. I don't know. I speculate on a lot of coins. Thank you for saying that. Hey, people will do their research and find out. I've never said Vader isn't like my number one position. I threw like a tiny bit one day and say, hey, maybe I could go somewhere. I don't know. I forgot about it. I'm not really a huge fan. But God bless you, man. Look at Aster on there if you can. Okay. We like soon. Yeah. So I gave a trade last night in the trading group. And I just want to talk about it real quick before I jump on out of here. It was a coin called HEMI. And it was getting tight. Looked like it could break out to 23 cents. And there's your before. And HEMI actually did some gains. You know, when I woke up, HEMI was up about 28% right there. See, and flagging out. Let's take a look at HEMI right now and see what HEMI is doing. Someone also said that Soon broke out, and we had Soon in that fib. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Soon looks interesting, and it bounced off the 618 now. We gave you Soon there at the 786, and Soon is just slow, you know, Soon slowly doing its thing. What I look for now when I look for a coin like that is you start making these consolidated patterns, right? And you can see it's gearing up for a bigger move, right? Now you can see kind of where it really wants to go soon. Someone asked about ATH, right? ANTIRUG. Let's take a look at ANTIRUG. I like that little breakout there. So remember, I said don't chase it. Wait for it to break out and get a move. I like it. So let's take a look. You kind of position this like that. And I mean, you're just looking for this to go sideways. And I'm telling you, it was either going to be a dump for altcoins forever, right? Or it was going to be the perfect time to buy. And so, like, I bought SUI. I bought 50 grand worth of say, like, about 10 days ago, right? I mean, I load up whenever there's a massive dump and there's bears, and then I hold patiently and just shut my mouth. It takes forever, man. It takes a lot longer to make money in this market than people think. Yeah, of course, you know, last weekend we make hits. We do swing trade, but I mean, to make the big, like, I want to turn 50 grand into 250,000. Nothing is overnight here. Everything is a slow, patient win. And you know what? The good thing about this rally is it didn't give a lot of quick... I mean, there was some free pumps, right? I get it. But the majority of the wins took time. And if we do win eventually, if and when we do win eventually, they're going to take our time, right? And we're going to be like, all right, they didn't come immediate. Like, we had to take our time to win. So, this looks beautiful for me, but it looks like it's got like 5 or 6 more days of consolidation. Maybe it just rips out of nowhere. It's possible, but I'd like it to go sideways first before it pumps to 10 cents. I own this, so I'd love to see this pump back to 10 cents. Hasn't been this price since January of 2025, so it's been a long time. Nice to see it come on back. So look, now we waited for this, and you can see the 1 minute is bouncing off the 200 moving average, which could be a very solid place to link in there. I'm sitting on that 1 hour doing what it's supposed to do. I like how that look how close the 21 is starting to curve up pretty nicely. That was a nice move up. It keeps doing that, then this flag is going to have way more potential. Yeah, and I watch these two time frames very, very, very focused. What a day. Shout out to everybody here at 12:02. Amazing. Let me see what's happening in the chat. Let me kind of look back here on the live stream and how many people we got kicking. Thank you for all the people that are here. Hit the like button. God bless you for the $41 in chat revenue. So we looked at ATH, never chase. That's risky XRP trade I showed you, paying the bills. Amen. Are you still holding DJI 6930? I am. Yeah, sad to say. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I go down with the ship, or that's just how I am. It's paid off over time, so that's just what I do. Yeah. Ever looked into AEVO similar to MIAX? I mean, that's a cool thing to hear, considering MIAX did such a move. We have looked at AEVO a few times here on the channel. I've got a call for it to pump, honestly, or at least, I have that, like, let's flag it out and wait for an alert. It didn't hit my alert yet, but it didn't fill out the flag perfectly. And definitely these things are going to have like just, tougher price action with less volume as people don't know about them. But over time, they'll gain some steam, right? I don't love what I'm looking at here. It is above the 200 moving average, though. But I'm not in love with what I'm looking at, right? Like the price action. The project could be great, though. I'll have to look at it more. It does seem like it's bottom. We'll see. ASTER looks like it's about to start pumping crazy, but you do whatever makes you happy. ASTER and AVANTIS both look insane, but do whatever makes you happy. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you guys. Blessings to you and the 99ers. Thanks for showing up day in and day out. Like and subscribe. Thank you. God bless. Thank you for that super chat. You didn't have to give, but you did. Shout out to everybody that gave here on the channel. May God bless each and every one of you for being here. And I thank you all for kicking it with me every single day. Babylon, yeah, Syrup, Corium, yeah, key to interesting stuff for future plays. I agree. I like Syrup, right? On that Maple Finance. I don't love the way the chart looks right now. A lot of consolidated in tightness, but hey, maybe it bounces off that lower level. The one I like the most there is, I looked at NTRN too, yeah. Babylon. Let's take a look at Babylon. It's only on OKX at the moment. Oh, that's bad too. Anyway, I'd have to look at it differently and spend some time. My mind gets pretty cooked towards the end of the stream. Yeah, K, USDT sidekick. I do like this one. This one's on. Thank you for saying that. That one's at the bottom of its barrel too, though. Dang, look at that. Ugh, gross. I tell you what, man. Right now, the hottest coin that I'm watching that looks pretty cool is HEMI, man. I don't own any HEMI. I wish I did, but man, we put out the call for it, and the thing is, it's been absolutely exploding. I mean, look at that. It's ripping since 9. It just did 100%. 100% gain since I put it out. Look at that thing. HEMI, or no, actually, we saw it rip. So here, it didn't, yeah. I started looking at it down here, though, too. Look at it. It's above the 200, touching the 21. Inside the, oh, man. That would have been perfect at 5 cents. It did a 3X so fast since Saturday. Unbelievable. HEMI's been hot. So things have been awesome. There's been amazing, amazing, amazing opportunities here. Honestly, if you look at HEMI, it's in a rising wedge now. It would basically break out parabolically to about 39 cents, 29 cents. So we're starting to see something crazy happen here. And there's opportunity all over the place. And more money in this market than we've ever seen. The people that have been around for a long time, we may be pleasantly surprised. We may get like way more 10Xs than we ever thought. So stay focused. Believe opportunity is coming. Look at that, man. Aster all the way at 230. That thing is doing serious damage right now. Blessings on blessings. So look at HEMI. HEMI looks like it's going to blast to 29 cents. I don't know. You do whatever makes you happy. But if it's out there, we're going to find it. And we're going to keep pushing every single day. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here with the Crypto Lifer. If you want to jump on in, I teach class the last Saturday of this month. There's the QR code. Jump on into class. It's waiting for you to learn more and find out. I can't wait. And with that being said, I'm about to jump on out of here for the day. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you so much for dedicating your time, your support to this channel. Each and every one of you helps each and every one of you. When you show up, a beginner sees that algorithm, goes, oh, what is this? Sees a suggested video, clicks on it, and turns into a Crypto Lifer. So you can go to cryptolifer.com to find out more about me and my team and to jump on into the trading group. Also, if you just want to come every single day and learn more, I'm here every single day teaching you all about these charts behind me as you see them wiggle around. Everybody, God bless you. I love you. I thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, the secret to success, I know what it is. It's getting started.